everyone, this is Dr. Paz, and I wanted to create this video for you to answer all of your Module 1 muddiest points. So I'll try to do this every week, so that way I'll either do it via video or I will do it via answering your discussion posts. But first and foremost, thank you for a fabulous first week. It was fantastic. Most of you completed all of your assignments and you did very well, and we're getting acclimated to the course. So I really appreciate all of your hard work, and thanks for doing that. And now what I have here is a document where I just compiled all of your muddiest points, and I'm hopefully going to answer those questions for you. So the first one is, are there any advantages to keeping data manually and not utilizing technology? I would say no. As most of you know, I am not a big manual person. But I would say using technology is far better, and I do believe that the manual system will become obsolete. I do think that now with robotic process automation, RPA, and artificial intelligence, and BI, business intelligence, all of these processes will be more technologically advanced than what we're doing. Next is, are accounting information systems easier to set up for businesses that have individualized products that don't sell as much quantity? I would say initially yes, but when you are thinking about starting an accounting information systems, think of the big picture. So even though you may only have, let's say, 50 or 100 SKUs at the moment, think like you're going to have 1,000, and develop the AIS systems to help you grow and to hopefully automate features. And then some of the other questions was about main differences between a value and a supply chain. So supply chain, think of it as getting any type of raw materials into your manufacturing process, or getting the materials you need to in order to add that extra value to your product. So they're not interchangeable. Think of supplies as coming in as raw materials into a manufacturing system, for example, and think of value chain, the process that you do in order to take those raw materials and add some labor probably and some overhead in order to make that product better, if you will. And then we have that there was some differentiations between the transaction cycles, and some of them seem very straightforward, but others could be mixed up. Yes, they are all very similar, but just think of the transaction cycle by area. So think of revenue cycles, think of cash disbursements or expenditure cycles, think of inventory, think of payroll. So think of it in that fashion, and I think it would be easier to differentiate. So if the cost of information is higher than its benefit, is it possible that the business would not be able to use an AIS? I think AIS systems has become, as we see in the next item there, QuickBooks, has become really relatively inexpensive. There is small, medium, and large AISs. So I would say Oracle and SAP are probably the top two in terms of cycles, but then you're going to get a chance to use Great Plains in your Arm and Dalton exercise, and so that's more like a medium size. And depending on how much customization you want or how much of the modules you want, it's really a good price point. So I think all companies, in order to get a better handle on their costs and their expenditures, should use AIS systems. I do recommend using AIS systems in conjunction with some type of visualization. So Tableau is like the market standard, but Oracle has NetSuite, and they have other aspects of their product that are also have this different visualizations and different reporting options. Yes, there is a market for smaller company AIS. QuickBooks definitely dominates that market. I would say it's a quasi AIS. It does have features, but it's really, QuickBooks is meant for companies or individuals that are not really accounting savvy. So it's like it does all of the general ledger transactions for you. It does all of the booking to your sub ledger and your general ledger automatically. So I would say it's definitely can suit a small business depending on the amount of money. I mean, I've seen businesses still use QuickBooks that are maybe $5 to $10 million, but then once they reach that $10 million spot, they really need a higher, more robust AIS system. And then I've seen them gone to Microsoft Dynamics Great Plains. So, and then we have another one. It seems like the book was saying AIS is the dominant system in a company, but I wonder how that relates to different inventory systems and other systems in a company. Do they all fall under the AIS? Typically, we try to bring everything into the AIS system. Even now, a lot of AIS systems like Oracle and SAP are allowing for non-quantitative data. But I would say inventory is certainly a module within your AIS system, and you'll get to see that when you look at Great Plains. You'll see it has cash, so you can do all of your bank reconciliations in there. It has sales, it has purchasing, it has payroll, it has inventory. So those are all within it. I would say then probably an ERP system is something that is auxiliary, but then we can take reporting from that and kind of bring it into the accounting software to try to kind of get all encompassing and all types of data sources within one system. And that's the hardest part for most businesses. Now moving on to our last two items, like how would management decide which AIS system to use and ultimately purchase when they do have a system in place? How can they arrive at the decision to replace or upgrade that software or hardware? Typically, that's a long process. I have implemented Great Plains in 2 organizations, and it is typically when you're either growing too fast and you're outgrowing the current functionality of your AIS system. So for example, I took Mass 90 and Sage, and that was not doing really robust inventory management, and it wasn't allowing for multiple warehouses at the time and multiple price points, and I had 6 different entities that I wanted to consolidate, and so that wasn't a system that can do that, and so hence why I moved to Great Plains. Pricing is a big factor. So at the time when I implemented Great Plains, it was about $250,000 to $300,000, and that was something that the organization could afford. So, but then you have to see the recommendations on implementing an AIS system is see what your current system is lacking, see if you can add on or customize your current system and see how much that costs, and then see what the price of a new system such as Great Plains or Oracle or SAP would be, and see how much more value you can get and how much time savings you can get. When I did move from Sage to Great Plains, I did eliminate several kind of manual processes that Great Plains was able to do, and also kind of spearhead the work into more value-added services such as decision-making and more reporting. And the last question for this week was, how does management decide which decisions require more attention than others? Like in the SAS example, how did they establish what the key decisions for the company would be? And how does management determine what external parties will be responsible for each decision? So in my experience, I would say I try to keep all decision making within the organization. The company decides. Typically the decisions, what you decide what you're going to work on is what needs attention, right? Most of our C-suite employees are kind of what I call just kind of putting out fires every day. So if you're constantly having to recreate reports or recreate dashboards or links are breaking in Excel, then that might be time to explore other options for AIS systems and seeing what's out there. Also, I would say within every 3 to 5 years, you may want to see, technology is advancing so greatly that you may want to see how you can automate processes. Right now, we see RPA automating a lot of processes within procurement and within paying invoices. We also see a lot of handling of cash receipts that are also being automated. So you want to try to make everything as automated as possible, because then you eliminate errors, and also you free up valuable accountants to do more data analytics and more analysis, and hopefully those value-added services. So I hope this is helpful for this week. If you have any questions, please be sure to post them in our discussions that asks for questions. And also I have given you an announcement about our exams and how that's going to look, and also to see if you would like to have some synchronous sessions throughout the semester to kind of hopefully not be so socially distant, but also to see if you have any questions that you think you can benefit from. So check out those announcements. Thanks for watching.